What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Late Night Bangers Edition Saturday night special. I am GunzPicks, and I just want to come clear with everybody who had followed my picks today. I apologize. A lot of stuff happened today. I felt like Auburn was the best bet, and Auburn kind of let me down with the last couple of minutes. Obviously, the Duke game was egregiously overturned on a foul, which should have given them the game on the free throw line. Didn't happen, but it doesn't matter. I can't blame the refs. I blame myself, and when I do blame myself, I owe it to you people to give you more plays, right? And that's what I'm going to do right now here. Special Saturday night edition of the Late Night Bangers show. So thanks for joining me, whoever you are, on Twitter, on YouTube. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of games going on right now, and I appreciate you joining me during this beautiful time. But let's talk about the games tonight, because I want to start here. We're going primetime games and a little bit of late night degenerate type games here, folks. So let's start here with the Arizona and Stanford game at Maples Pavilion, Stanford, California, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be rolling with the dog on this one, plus 7.5. Stanford is going to be the play on this one. Let me tell you why. Listen, Stanford is coming off back-to-back road losses after winning 5 straight. So this is a team that was the hottest of hot, and then they started to regress a little bit. I think they turn it around on this game, and they're coming off a 4-point loss, a tough loss to Arizona State at home, and I feel like that they're going to turn things around in this spot. When you actually look at against Arizona State. Now you look at the Arizona side. I know where Arizona's coming from. They're really hot right now. They've won 7 straight since their loss to Oregon, and they've covered 6 out of the last 7 in that regard. But the key to this game really, I think, is going to be who is going to get the boards, who's going to get the second chance opportunities, or who's going to be able to grab the defensive rebound and get into offensive transition. And these are pretty evenly matched up teams here, in my opinion. Stanford's ranked 60th in defensive rebounding, 73rd in offensive rebounding. And then you have Arizona on the other side. They're ranked 44th in offensive rebounding, 78th in defensive rebounding. Okay. But Arizona is also in a potential look-ahead spot here. We always look at these in college football all the time, especially if you have a prominent opponent. It gets a little bit more condensed with college basketball. And I think you have one here because it's a revenge spot going against Utah. That Arizona is going to want to get that piece back. And they lost to them in December. So I think it's going to be one of those situations where maybe you're kind of overlooking Stanford playing on the road, but you're just going to play enough to win. And then you're going to go against Utah and potentially beat the piss out of them, because Arizona is a strong team across the board. Look at all their statistical analytics. They're definitely a good team. I'll give them that. But Stanford, when they face Arizona, they step up and they play their best game. They've covered 4 out of the last 5 versus Arizona. So I think this is a perfect matchup for Stanford. A Stanford team that is coming back from 2 bad losses, wants to get redemption here. Whether they win or lose, we get 7.5 in this spot here. So give me Stanford plus 7.5, 1 unit special. And that is the first play of the night for the Late Night Bangers edition. We're firing shots as always, slapping the bookie in the mouth. That's what we're going to be doing on this show and further into the March edition of the show. But let's talk about the next game on the board. And guess what? I'm going to hit another Arizona team on this one. We're going to Arizona State and Cal, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're playing at Haas Pavilion, Berkeley, California, 8 p.m. And I'm going to be going with Cal, rolling with the dog again here, plus 9.5, 1 unit special. Listen, Cal is coming off a 23-point loss to Arizona last week, earlier this week, and but they've covered 2 out of the last 3. So I think this might be a a Cal team that's a little bit more pesky. But when you looking at Arizona State on this one, they're coming off a 4-point road win over Stanford, covering the spread by a hook. In that matter, it's the first cover that Arizona State has had in their last 8 games. So this is like a team that you can't back in any spot moving forward with this one. So I was like, just be careful if you actually like the Arizona State side. I'd wait a couple games just to see if they're actually going to be a covering team. But in this spot, not so much here. Cal's a bad team. Listen, statistically, you look at them down the board, they're just a really bad team. I just think this line is a little bit too short for an Arizona State team that is not good at covering here. And I can see why, because Arizona State is ranked 115th in offensive efficiency and they're 271st in field goal percentage. It's a team that can't shoot the ball. They can't score points. They have a good defense. I'll give them that. But I think this is going to be one of those situations where Cal's going to be able to keep it close. But I don't think they're going to get the victory here. But look at where Arizona State's coming from. Like I said before, 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games, 8-20-1 against the spread versus losing teams. And Cal on the other side, 13-6 against the spread versus winning teams, and 12-3 against the spread when they play on Saturday. So I think this is a good spot for Cal. Coming off a humongously embarrassing loss to Arizona. Now they're going to play another Arizona team, a weaker team. I think they're going to be able to keep it close here. They are playing at home on this one. So give me the Cal Bears on this one, plus 9.5, 1 unit special. Wicked hat, kid. Wicked hat. Yes, and I see for you guys watching me right now and a bunch on Twitter. But hey, why don't you put something in the comments? Tell me what is going on with your night. What are you drinking? What are you sipping right now? That's kind of what I want to know right now. Are you eating anything good? We got the Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. Are you taking it a little bit easy, knowing that your liver is going to be absolutely damaged tomorrow from the hours and hours and hours of beautiful football to kind of end the season here? I see the comments coming in right now. Of course, Much is in the building. Sup? I owe you some picks, guy. My bad on the reverse sweep today. Drinking water. See, this guy gets it because he knows what's coming tomorrow. He knows what's coming tomorrow. We have KC and Philly. It's going to be a beautiful day. Let's go down the board. Go to the next play. I love hanging out with you guys. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe and all that happy horse shit that we always say on these videos. I appreciate you all. Let's go. Utah State versus San Jose State. This is the late night degenerate end of the show. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're playing at Provident Credit Union Event Center, San Jose, California. And by the way, college arenas, way too many names. Let's keep it very simple. The NBA, I think it does keep it simple, but the problem is the sponsors or the people that have the ownership of the sponsorship of the building. Anyways, I digress. Let's talk about this game here real quick. Utah State, they're off a loss to San Diego State by 2 points. They covered 3 out of the last 4 prior. So that was the game that they didn't cover in that one because they were the favorite. So a little bit of a chip on their shoulder going into this game. Now you have San Jose State. They're coming off a road loss to Fresno State by 8 points as 3.5-point dogs. But it's fine. I think that, when I look at San Jose's record and who they've played, I just don't think they've played the strength of schedule that Utah State plays. And they're going to face one of the best offenses in the country here in Utah State because they're absolutely solid. They're ranked 13th in offense efficiency, 7th in field goal percentage, and number 1 in 3-point percentage. So this team is definitely a shooting team. Now, San Jose's defense on the other side, when you look at them as far as defending shots, 175th in defensive efficiency, 103rd in defending all shots, 244th ranked in defending 3-pointers. So you have a team that is on the bottom scale of defending the 3 versus the team that is the best of the best at shooting the 3. This is problematic for San Jose State, in my opinion here. Also, San Jose State doesn't allow allow their opponents to get to the line a lot. They're ranked 357th in that regard. And then you have Utah State on the other side. On the charity stripe, they're actually really good too, 35th in the country. So this is kind of one of those teams that, like, whether their defense is good or not, you actually look at the other side when you look at the San Jose offense versus the Utah State defense. Whatever makes them good, like their strengths and weaknesses are identical on that side. So that is kind of a key point on this one. And then you just have an extreme scale on the other side with the Utah State offense versus the San Jose State defense. Also, you got to look at the situation here. The favorite is 14-6 against the spread when these two teams meet. So it's a perfect situation, I think, for Utah State. They did win the first go around between these two teams. Utah State did win by 1 point. Didn't cover the spread, so I think it's going to be a situation where you got to take Utah State on this one. This is the reason why they're favored here on the road. Give me Utah State -5.5. 1 unit play. And we're moving on to the next play on the late night degenerate specials. We're going to move into the Pac-12. UCLA is going against Oregon, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Night Arena, Eugene, Oregon. And we're going to be going with the doggy here. Woo, woo. Oregon, Mighty Ducks, +2, 1 unit special. Let me tell you why. Look, these two teams did meet before. I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I'll get to that right now. December 4th, these two teams met, and UCLA won 65-56. Did not cover the spread because Oregon was a 10-point dog. Now you see them sitting here as a 2-point dog, 8-point swing going back home. Now, UCLA's strong team, but their offense is not great. They're ranked 113th in field goal percentage, 88th in three-point percentage, and 149th in two-point percentage. So it's not a good shooting team. They are efficient on the defensive side, definitely, which makes them a great team. But I think there are holes on the offensive side. Now you got Oregon, not a bad defending shots either. They're ranked 75th in defending all shots, 142nd in defending the three, and 48th in defending 2-point shots. So when you actually combine all those elements in there, they match up very well on that side of the ball versus UCLA. UCLA also has a good offense. They're ranked 34th in offensive efficiency, but they're facing UCLA, who's ranked 3rd in defensive efficiency. But when you look at these two teams as they match up, Oregon's covered the last 5 matchups between these two teams. So you got to take that into account when looking at this game. I think Oregon's is in a perfect spot here. There's an 8-point swing from game A to game B. And I think UCLA is going to sit on this one. And I'm going to be going with Oregon, the Mighty Ducks. Quack, quack. +2 as my dog of the day. Man, you guys are beautiful. I can't believe there's anybody watching me for these picks right now, whether you like or fatal. Listen, I'm telling you straight up, I went 0-4 on the early games. That is on me. But I was 10-2 before I went into those games, so I was probably due for a little bit of a regression, just like I talk about with other teams. I don't think I'm going to regress tonight. I want to sweep the board. I want to get back to even Steven so we can go and continue on and move forward in the hottest show on the planet, Late Night Bangers, the Breaking Ankles, all the shows that come on the Sports Wagering Network. But before I close it out, I got to say one thing. Best bet. Best bet on this one. Man, I do like them all. I have 3 dogs and a favorite. I'm probably going to go with Utah State on this one, -5.5 versus San Jose State. I think that is the perfect pick for the best bet on this one. I think they outmatch the San Jose State team. San Jose State, I know they're a good covering team, but I think they've played a lot of weak sauce teams going into this. You actually saw them lose to Fresno State not too long ago, and I think that trend will continue, and you actually see who they truly are. Not only statistically, but from the win and loss perspective. So that's going to be the top play here, folks. And as we close it out here, just want to tell you that we're going to be coming back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's where we're going to be doing the Super Bowl picks, me and the Shark. So please join us for that. And we're going to have just daily content coming on this channel. We're still in the works, trying to get everybody situated, everybody organized, a lot of people traveling. So you've been seeing a lot of me, but I want to get away from that and get some of these other people in here that deserve to be on this channel. So thanks for joining me for the Late Night Bangers edition, Saturday night college basketball. Till next time, you see me tomorrow, 3 p.m. for the Circa Million Show. We will say, I bid you adieu. Mwah. And good